Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change, and change happens 1 hour at a time. You don't need a new year to change your life. You don't need a new boss, a new plan, or a lucky break. What you need is 1 hour. 1 hour that you protect. 1 hour that you use with purpose. 1 hour where you stop living by chance and start building by choice. Most people lose that hour without even noticing it. They trade it for distractions, for excuses, for things that never move them an inch closer to the life they want. But 1 hour spent wisely can change everything. It can change your confidence. It can change your skills. It can change your income. It can change your future. In this message, I'll show you why 1 serious hour a day has the power to build a brand new life, step by step, habit by habit, no guesswork, no waiting for the perfect time. Just 1 strong hour every day, building the person you know you can be. If you stay with me, you'll see it's not the big moves that change your life. It's the small daily actions that do. And the good news is you can start today. You can start right now. And 1 year from now, you'll be glad you did. Number 1, use 1 hour a day to work on a skill that will make you more valuable in the marketplace. If you want to start changing your life, you don't have to move mountains. You don't have to wait until next year. You don't need some huge miracle. You need to take 1 small, serious action. And it begins with giving 1 hour a day to building a skill that makes you more valuable. 1 hour, not 5, not 10. But that 1 hour, used right, can change everything for you. It's not about working longer hours. It's about making the hours you already have count for something. Most people think the secret is in getting lucky. They think maybe the right person will find them. Maybe the economy will shift. Maybe someday opportunity will knock. But the truth is, you don't get paid for how much time you put in. You get paid for how much value you bring to the marketplace. That's the truth. If you can bring more value, you get more opportunities. You get better pay. You get better choices. And the only way to bring more value is to work every day on yourself. 1 hour a day, you could become a better communicator. 1 hour a day, you could learn how to solve bigger problems. 1 hour a day, you could study leadership. You could sharpen your skills. You could learn how money works. You could become someone people want to work with, not someone people tolerate. But it has to be deliberate. It has to be focused, not a lazy hour, not a distracted hour, a real hour where you are serious about improving what you can offer. Think about it. 1 hour a day over a week is 7 hours. Over a month, it's about 30 hours. In a year, it's over 300 hours. What could you become with 300 hours of focused effort? How much better could you get? How much closer could you be to living the kind of life you dream about? But most people will let those hours slip away. They will trade them for television, for gossip, for scrolling through things that don't matter. They will spend their hours and have nothing to show for it. You don't want to be like most people. You want to be one of the few who takes control of their time. You don't need the perfect book to start. You don't need the perfect teacher. You need the decision that 1 hour a day is yours. It belongs to you and your future, and nobody can take it from you unless you give it away. If you give yourself that hour and you take it seriously, you will look back 1 year from now and be amazed at how far you have come. You will walk different, talk different, think different. You will start to feel something very few people ever feel. You will feel real confidence, not because you are pretending, not because you are hoping, but because you know you have put in the work. You know you have earned it, and nobody can take that from you. Not the economy, not your competitors, not your boss. You become your own best investment. Start with the skills that matter: communication, leadership, solving problems, managing money, building discipline. Things that work in every field, every business, every career. Build the skills that people respect, skills that open doors, skills that create freedom. 1 hour a day, day after day, and you will start stacking advantages that most people never have. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. You just have to show up for yourself, even on the days when you don't feel like it, especially on those days. That's when it matters most. That's when you prove to yourself that your future means more to you than your comfort. That's when you build strength, not just skill. Nobody will check on you every morning to make sure you used your hour wisely. Nobody will chase you to sit down and study. It's all on you. That's the beauty of it. And that's the challenge. But the rewards are worth it. Freedom is worth it. Respect is worth it. Pride in yourself is worth it. The ability to choose your work, your income, your future, it's all waiting for the one who makes the decision to show up for 1 hour a day. The clock is ticking for all of us. Every day you are either getting a little better or a little worse. There is no standing still. The 1 hour a day of real growth moves you ahead. 1 hour a day of waste leaves you behind. And the sad thing is, most people don't even notice it happening. They don't feel it at first. But after a few months, after a few years, it shows up. It shows up in missed chances, in lost time, in regret. Obvious, you don't have to live with regret. You can live with pride. You can live with strength. You can live with the quiet satisfaction of knowing you built something inside yourself that nobody can ever steal. And it starts so small. 1 hour a day, just one. Protect it like it matters, because it does. Guard it. Make it your appointment with your future. Make it non-negotiable. Treat it like it's sacred. Because every minute you invest in that hour is a minute that comes back to you 100-fold later on. Most people think they can drift into success. They think they can wish their way to a better life. But drifting doesn't lead to success. It leads to disappointment. Wishes don't lead to success. Work does. And not just working hard for somebody else, working smart for yourself. Working on yourself 1 hour a day will do more for you than working 10 hours a day without improving. If you keep getting better, your time becomes more valuable. Your work becomes more respected. Your life becomes richer. Not just with money, but with choices, with relationships, with peace of mind. 1 hour a day is not a sacrifice. It's the smartest investment you will ever make. It's not losing time. It's gaining a future. You get to choose today. You get to choose what you plant. And in time, you will harvest what you planted. If you plant distractions, you will reap frustration. If you plant learning, skill, discipline, you will reap success, confidence, freedom. Decide that today is the day you start taking 1 hour a day seriously. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because if you don't, the days will pass anyway. The weeks will pass anyway. The months will pass anyway. And one day you will either be grateful you made the decision or you will wish you had. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. 1 hour a day, focused, serious, consistent. That's the key. And the beautiful truth is, if you give yourself that hour, you will change your skills, you will change your value, and you will change your life. You have the power to do it right now. Number 2, real success isn't built in big leaps. It's built in one small focused hour repeated daily. Real success is not something that happens all at once. It's not a lucky break. It's not one big move that suddenly puts you on top. It's something far more steady, something far more personal. It's what you do when nobody's watching. It's what you do when it's just you and your goals, you and your choices, you and your habits. And the truth is, real success is built by small steps, not giant leaps. It's built one focused hour at a time, repeated day after day. Everybody wants to get there fast. Everybody wants to jump from where they are to where they want to be without putting in the daily work. But it doesn't work that way. It never has, and it never will. If you think success is about one big lucky moment, you'll be waiting a long time. If you think success is about getting everything right on the first try, you'll be disappointed. Real success belongs to those who understand the power of steady, focused effort. You take 1 hour today and you put it into something that matters, something that moves you forward. Maybe you study a subject you need to master. Maybe you practice a skill that will make you more valuable. Maybe you plan carefully for your next move. You focus, you build, you improve, and then tomorrow you do it again. And the day after that, you do it again. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You just need to be consistent. Most people are looking for a shortcut, a secret formula, a magic solution that makes everything easy. But success doesn't come from secrets. It comes from serious, steady work. The small hour you give today might not feel like it's changing much. You might not see the reward tomorrow. But if you stay with it, if you make that focused hour part of who you are, you'll look back in a year and you won't even recognize your old life. Small focused hours, repeated daily stack up in ways you can't even imagine when you first start. 1 hour alone doesn't seem like much. You might think, what difference will it make? But it's not about the hour you spend today. It's about what happens when you add them up. 1 hour a day is 7 hours a week. It's 30 hours a month. It's 365 hours a year. That's 9 full 40-hour work weeks you gave to your future without ever quitting your job, without ever giving up your responsibilities. That's the power of steady effort. The problem is most people don't trust small beginnings. They want the fireworks, they want the fast results, they want the transformation overnight. But small beginnings are where everything great comes from. 1 hour a day sounds small, but it's the seed of greatness. Every strong business you see today started small. Every expert you admire once struggled through the basics. Every leader you respect once had no idea what they were doing, but they kept showing up. If you can fall in love with the process, not just the prize, you will go further than you ever thought possible. If you can find joy in the hour you spend learning, growing, improving, not just in the rewards, you'll become someone who can create success anytime, anywhere, under any circumstances, because you will have built yourself from the inside out. People often ask, what's the secret to getting ahead? It's simple. Outlast the people who quit. Outwork the people who wait. Outfocus the people who get distracted. 1 hour at a time. There's no shortcut to lasting success, but there is a direct path. Daily, focused, deliberate work. Your mind will try to talk you out of it some days. It will say 1 hour doesn't matter. It will say you can skip today. It will say you'll catch up later. But that's the lie that keeps most people stuck. That's the trick that keeps dreams small and life average. The real breakthrough comes when you stop negotiating with yourself. When you make the decision once and for all that your 1 hour a day is not up for discussion. It's part of your life now. It's who you are. And here's something else. When you put in that one focused hour a day, you're not just improving a skill. You're building your self-respect. You're proving to yourself that you can trust your own word. It proves that you have what it takes to stay the course. That you are the kind of person who honors their own goals, even when it's not easy, even when no one's clapping, even when it feels slow. And that kind of strength, once you build it, nobody can take it from you. Small daily steps also protect you from the highs and lows of emotional living. You don't need to feel great every day to make progress. You don't need to be motivated every morning. Discipline carries you when motivation leaves. It's the commitment to give that hour, rain or shine, good mood or bad mood. It's easy to stay stuck in the trap of thinking you need to do something huge to change your life. But it's not the big events that shape your future. It's the small decisions repeated daily that change the direction you're heading. Change the direction by 1 degree today, and in a year, you're in a whole new place. You don't have to change your whole life today. You just have to change 1 hour. Make it count. Build something with it. Make yourself a little stronger, a little smarter, a little closer to the person you want to become. Real success feels slow when you're in it. It doesn't always feel exciting. It doesn't always feel impressive. It often feels like quiet work in a room by yourself when no one is watching. But one day, the results show up. One day, the confidence shows up. One day, the freedom shows up. And when it does, you'll know exactly where it came from. It came from the hours you thought no one saw. The hours you could have wasted, but you didn't. It's not about grand leaps. It's about faithful steps. It's not about luck. It's about showing up when it's easy and when it's not. It's about building yourself 1 hour at a time until the world can't ignore you anymore. Decide today that you will stop chasing the big leap. Decide today that you will start honoring the small daily work, because that small focused hour repeated daily will build a life you're proud to live. A life built on purpose, discipline, and strength. 1 hour at a time, one step at a time, until one day you realize you have become the person you always knew you could be. Number 3, dedicate 1 hour a day to improving your communication. It will change every part of your personal and business life. One of the smartest investments you can ever make in yourself is improving the way you communicate. Ability to express ideas, to connect with people, to explain, to persuade, to inspire. It all comes back to communication. And here's something you should know. Every part of your life, personal and business, it's not just about public speaking. It's about everyday life, conversations with your family, discussions at work, negotiations with clients, teaching your children, asking for opportunities, leading a team. Everything rises when your communication rises. But most people never stop and work on it. They think communication is something you either have or you don't. They think it's natural for some people and impossible for others. They don't realize it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, sharpened, and mastered if you give it time. Not a lifetime. Just 1 hour a day. One dedicated hour where you're serious about becoming better at speaking, better at listening, better at connecting. If you spend one focused hour each day studying, practicing, and improving your communication, in 1 year, you won't even recognize yourself. You'll have more confidence in meetings. You'll have more clarity in life. You'll be able to open doors with a conversation that used to stay closed. You'll be trusted more, heard more, respected more, and the world opens up to the person who knows how to speak well. You don't have to be a professional speaker. You don't have to be loud or dramatic. You have to be clear. You have to be honest. You have to know what you want to say and say it in a way that others can understand and feel. Communication is not just about words. It's about connection. It's about transferring your thoughts and feelings to another person in a way that makes sense to them. When you commit to improving this skill, you start paying attention differently. You notice what makes people listen. You notice what makes them turn away. You start seeing the patterns. You realize that the best communicators are not the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who make the most sense, who speak with purpose, who know when to speak and when to listen. All of that can be learned hour by hour, day by day. 1 hour a day might not sound like much, but think about it this way. If you worked on your communication for 1 hour a day for a year, you would have spent the same amount of time as someone who took a professional course full-time for months. Without leaving your job, without stepping away from your life, just 1 quiet hour a day working on yourself. And how do you work on it? You listen to great communicators, you study their rhythm, their choice of words, their pauses, you practice explaining your thoughts simply, not using fancy words, but words that reach people. You record yourself speaking and listen back. You notice where you're clear and where you're confusing. You practice telling stories that have a point. You work on asking good questions and listening with full attention to the answers. That's real. Improvement doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you take it seriously enough to study it, to practice it, to see it as an important part of who you are becoming. Good communication helps you in business because people trust clarity. They trust someone who can explain a solution without confusion. They follow leaders who make their ideas easy to understand. They hire people who can explain what they do without sounding like they're reading from a manual. And it helps in your personal life too. Misunderstandings destroy relationships faster than anything else. Many arguments happen because someone didn't say clearly what they meant, or someone didn't listen carefully enough to what was said. If you can speak clearly and listen patiently, you can solve problems before they become disasters. You can build stronger bonds. You can create real understanding between you and the people you care about. Tangible. The world is noisy today. Everyone's talking, but very few are really saying anything that matters. Most conversations are shallow. Most connections are weak. But you can be different. You can be the person who speaks with clarity, who listens with patience, who understands with depth. And that kind of person will always be in demand. That kind of person will always find ways to create opportunities, to build trust, to lead, to inspire. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. Start by giving yourself 1 hour a day to this work. Treat it as seriously as you would treat any important task. not as a hobby, as a commitment to your future. 1 hour a day reading about communication, 1 hour practicing conversations, 1 hour studying great speeches, 1 hour learning how to make your point clearly without rushing, without rambling. Over time, you'll see yourself changing. You'll notice people responding to you differently. You'll notice you feel stronger inside. You'll notice that doors that were once closed start to open. And the best thing is, the improvements you make in communication pay off for the rest of your life. It's not like some skills that expire become outdated. Good communication will always be valuable. It doesn't matter what technology comes along. It doesn't matter how the world changes. People will always need people who can speak clearly, connect deeply, and inspire action. So today, decide that you're not going to leave your communication to chance. Decide that you will become a student of this skill, even if no one else around you thinks it's important, because it is important. It's one of the most important skills you can ever build. And it's a skill that can change every part of your life if you give it the time and effort it deserves. Is your future conversations, your future opportunities, your future confidence all start with the choice you make today. Give 1 hour a day to improving your communication. Stick with it. Be patient. Stay serious. And watch how every part of your life, personal and professional, begins to rise. Number 4, give 1 hour daily to building your discipline, because discipline sets the foundation for every success. If you really want to succeed in life, there's one thing you absolutely have to build: discipline. Without it, no plan matters. Without it, no opportunity lasts. Without it, no dream ever becomes real. You can be the most talented. You can be the most excited. But if you don't have discipline, none of that will carry you through the real work it takes to build the life you want. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. And it's built 1 hour at a time. When I say give 1 hour a day to building your discipline, I don't mean just thinking about it. I mean setting aside a real hour every single day to work on it. Treat it like an appointment. Treat it like the most important meeting you'll have all day, because it is. It's the meeting you have with yourself. It's the meeting where you prove that your goals matter more than your excuses. It's easy to make big plans when you're feeling good. It's easy to be excited about change when the idea is fresh. But discipline is what carries you when the excitement fades. It's what keeps you moving when the mood changes, when the road gets harder, when nobody else is cheering for you. Discipline is the quiet force that keeps you going. And here's something important. Discipline is not something you are born with. Nobody wakes up disciplined. It's a skill. It's a choice. It's a muscle. And just like any muscle, it only grows when you work it daily. 1 hour a day, you can build that muscle stronger. 1 hour a day. You could become the kind of person who follows through, not just once, but every time it matters. Start small. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can use that hour to set clear goals and stick to them. You can use that hour to practice doing what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable. You can use that hour to plan your day with purpose and stick to that plan. You can use that hour to train yourself to stay focused on what matters and let go of the distractions that waste your time and energy. You can use that hour to keep promises you made to yourself, not just the promises you made to others, the promises you made in quiet moments when nobody was watching. The promises you made when you said, I'm going to be better. I'm going to do better. Discipline is keeping those promises long after the mood you made them in is past. 1 hour a day. That's it. Not your whole day. Just 1 hour focused, serious, committed to becoming the kind of person who can rely on themselves. 1 hour where you say, today I will build my future, not just talk about it. And here's what happens when you do that. You start trusting yourself. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, your confidence grows. Not fake confidence. Confidence based on evidence. Confidence based on the truth you know about yourself, not the image you try to show others. You'll start seeing yourself differently. You'll start acting differently. Opportunities that seemed out of reach before will start to look possible. Why? Because the strongest foundation for success is not luck, not talent, not connections. It's discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when it's lonely. You won't have to force it forever. The beginning is the hardest. When you start, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will resist. Your old habits will fight you. But if you stay with it, if you give yourself that hour day after day, something powerful happens. Discipline stops being something you fight for. It starts being part of who you are. It becomes natural to follow through. It becomes normal to keep moving forward. You stop relying on motivation to save you. You stop waiting for the right mood to hit. You just do the work. Because that's what disciplined people do. And when you live that way, you stand out, you rise. Because most people won't do it. Most people will keep looking for easier paths. They'll keep waiting for the perfect time. They'll keep making excuses for why they couldn't follow through. But you will know that every day you invested an hour in building your foundation. And that foundation will support dreams bigger than you ever thought possible. Discipline makes everything else work better. When you have discipline, your health improves. Your money habits improve. Your relationships improve. Your business improves because you're not living at the mercy of your moods anymore. You're living by principle, by choice, by strength. Nobody hands discipline to you. You earn it, and nobody can take it from you once you've built it. It's yours. It's part of you. It's what makes you steady when others panic. It's what makes you reliable when others quit. It's what makes you powerful when others are waiting for a lucky break. Every hour you invest in discipline compounds over time. What feels like a small effort today becomes a huge advantage tomorrow. The ability to control yourself, to stay focused, to act with purpose, that's rare today. And what's rare is valuable. When you build discipline, you make yourself valuable to your family, to your workplace, to the marketplace, and most importantly, to yourself. There will be days when it feels pointless. Days when you wonder if the effort is even worth it. Days when you think nobody notices. But keep going anyway. Because the person you are becoming is not for show. It's for real. It's for your future. It's for the life you want to live. Not the life you have to settle for. Success doesn't happen by accident. It's built on small choices made daily. Discipline is the choice you make when you decide you want to control your life, not be controlled by it. So today, make the decision. 1 hour every day, building discipline, laying brick after brick on the foundation that will carry the weight of every dream you dare to dream. Because without discipline, dreams stay dreams. Applied with discipline, dreams become plans. Plans become actions. Actions become results. And results become a life that you are proud to call your own. Give yourself that hour. You are worth it. Number 5, use 1 hour to study money and how to keep it. One of the smartest choices you can ever make is deciding to spend time learning about money. Not just how to make it, but how to manage it, how to keep it, and how to make it work for you. A lot of people work hard all their lives and still end up broke. Not because they didn't put in the effort, not because they didn't care, but because nobody ever showed them how money really works. Nobody taught them the rules. And in life, if you don't know the rules, you pay a price. That's why you have to set aside 1 serious hour a day to study money. Not in a casual way, not in a rushed way, but in a way that says, this is important. My future depends on this, because it does. How you handle money affects everything. Your freedom, your options, your stress, your lifestyle, your ability to give to others, your ability to build something lasting. Money touches every area of your life, whether you like it or not. So you might as well get good at it. Spend an hour a day reading good books about money management, personal finance, wealth building. Listen to people who have built something real, not people who are just selling you dreams. Learn how savings work. Learn how investments work. Understand how taxes work. Understand how debt works. Understand how budgets work. Get comfortable with it. Money is not something you should fear. It's something you should master. Nobody is born knowing how to handle money. It's a learned skill, just like anything else. You learn it by giving it time. Serious time. Focused attention. You can't just hope your finances will somehow work out. Hope is not a plan. Study is a plan. Effort is a plan. And 1 hour a day, over time, turns into the kind of knowledge that changes your financial destiny. A lot of people spend more time planning a weekend trip than they do planning their financial future. They spend more time picking out a new phone than they do understanding how interest rates affect them. They think money is boring or complicated, so they ignore it. But ignoring it doesn't protect you. It costs you, and it costs you dearly. The truth is, money is not that complicated once you start studying it a little each day. You don't have to become an expert overnight. You just have to start paying attention, 1 hour at a time, one simple principle at a time. You'll be amazed how fast you get smarter about it when you make it a daily part of your life. Learn how to keep your money first before you worry about how to spend it. Most people skip this part. They make a little money and immediately they're looking for ways to get rid of it. A bigger car, fancier watch, a louder lifestyle. But wealth is not about what you spend. It's about what you keep. It's about what you grow. It's about what you protect. Discipline yourself to save first, even if it's small at first, even if it feels like it's not making a difference. The habit matters more than the amount in the beginning. Build the habit of paying yourself first before you pay anybody else. Build the habit of setting aside money for the future, not just for today's pleasures. That habit built over time can create a foundation that will serve you for the rest of your life. Still, you at 1 hour a day to study not only how to save, but how to invest wisely. Don't rush into anything because it sounds exciting. Understand it. Study it. Ask questions. Money invested right can multiply. Money invested wrong can disappear. Learn how to recognize the difference. Learn the power of compounding. Learn the value of patience. Study the markets. Study business. Study people who have built wealth and kept it. The goal is not just to make money. It's to keep it, protect it, grow it, and make it work harder than you do. Money can work 24 hours a day without getting tired if you know how to put it to work. But it starts with respect. It starts with understanding. It starts with 1 hour a day treating money like it matters. You don't have to become obsessed. You don't have to spend your whole life chasing dollars, but you do need to become wise. Wise enough to not fall for every shiny distraction. Wise enough to build a financial life that gives you peace, not panic. Wise enough to live below your means for a while so you can live on your own terms later. There's a quiet dignity in financial independence, in knowing you're not trapped by debt, in knowing you're not living paycheck to paycheck, hoping nothing bad happens, in knowing you have reserves, options, breathing room. That kind of strength doesn't come from wishing. It comes from learning, from studying, from doing the work others won't do. And all it takes to start is 1 hour a day. Set it on your schedule. Make it a part of your routine, just like you would schedule an important meeting. This is a meeting with your future. This is you saying, I take my life seriously enough to understand how money works. Every hour you invest learning about money pays you back for the rest of your life. It makes you smarter about decisions. It makes you harder to fool. It makes you more confident, more prepared, more free. And the earlier you start, the bigger the rewards, but it's never too late. Wherever you are right now, start today. If you don't control money, it will control you. If you don't tell it where to go, it will find a way to leave you. And the sad truth is, the less you know about it, the easier it is to lose. Protect yourself. Build yourself. 1 hour a day, a year from now, you can be standing in the same place financially, wondering why nothing changed. Or you can be standing stronger, smarter, and freer because you decided to take 1 hour a day and learn how to make money your servant, not your master. Success doesn't start with making a fortune. It starts with making a decision. The decision to learn, the decision to grow, the decision to be responsible for your future. 1 hour a day, one choice at a time. That's how you change your financial life forever. Number 6, work 1 hour a day on your health and energy. If you want a good life, a strong life, a full life, you cannot ignore your health. No matter how many dreams you have, no matter how much you know, no matter how much you want it, without energy, without strength, you won't have the power to go after it. You need to be healthy. You need to be strong. You need to have the energy that allows you to move through the day with purpose and power. And the truth is, you don't need to spend your whole life in the gym. You don't need to become an athlete, but you do need to give 1 hour a day to your health and energy. 1 hour. every day, like clockwork, like it matters, because it does. Your body is the engine that carries your dreams. It's what carries your mind to work. It's what carries your ambition to the world. And if that engine breaks down, it doesn't matter how brilliant you are. It doesn't matter how good your ideas are. You won't have the drive to follow through. You'll be tired. You'll be slow. You'll lose opportunities. Not because you aren't good enough, but because you didn't have the energy to show up at your best. 1 hour a day focused on your health changes everything. You move better. You think better. You sleep better. You handle stress better. You feel stronger. And strength changes the way you walk into a room. Strength changes the way you talk. It changes the way people respond to you. When your energy is high, you naturally lift the people around you. You inspire without even trying. But it starts with one choice. 1 hour a day where you say, today, my health matters. Today, my energy matters. Today, I invest in myself. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a special trainer. You don't need the perfect equipment. You don't need to know everything about fitness. You just need to start moving. A simple walk, a basic workout, stretching, breathing, learning how to take care of the machine you've been given. 1 hour a day of real effort. Effort you can feel in your muscles. Effort you can feel in your breath. Not half-hearted, distracted effort. Serious, focused, honoring your body like it's the priceless asset that it is. The truth is, your future success depends on your daily energy. If you have the energy, you can create, you can build, you can endure. If you don't, even small tasks will feel like mountains. It's not about age. It's not about genetics. It's about decisions, daily decisions, hourly decisions. And that's good news, because it means you're in control. Take control of your health today, while you can still choose. Don't wait for a health crisis to force you into action. Don't wait for the doctor to give you bad news. Don't wait until you've lost too much to get serious. 1 hour a day of care, 1 hour a day of strength building, 1 hour a day of investing in your energy. It protects you from years of struggle later. And here's something important. Your health is not just about you. It's about the people who love you, the people who depend on you, your family, your friends, your team. They need you strong. They need you present. They need you alive and thriving, not worn out and struggling. Taking care of your body is not selfish. It's one of the most generous things you can do. 1 hour a day, not all day, just 1 hour, but an hour that you take seriously. An hour where you put in real work. An hour where you push a little harder. An hour where you choose strength over comfort. Because every time you choose strength, you're building a reserve that you'll be grateful for when life tests you. And life will test you. You'll face long days, tough projects, big opportunities, stressful situations. And the difference between those who collapse under pressure and those who rise to the occasion often comes down to physical energy. Those who have taken the time daily to build their strength can carry more, endure more, create more, live more. Don't leave your health to chance. Don't assume it will take care of itself. It won't. Health declines if it's ignored. Energy fades if it's not maintained. Life will not slow down to match your weakness. You have to rise to meet life's demands with strength. And it's not just about the body. 1 hour a day working on your health sharpens your mind too. Your thinking becomes clearer. Your emotions become steadier. Your patience grows. Your resilience grows. You become better not just physically but mentally. Health is whole. You can't separate the body and mind and spirit. They are connected. Strength in one area feeds strength in every area. The great thing is you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a flawless routine. You don't need to lift the heaviest weights or run the fastest miles. You just need to be consistent. Show up for yourself. 1 hour every day. Build the habit first. The habit of saying my health matters. The habit of saying today I will honor my energy. The habit of showing up even when you're tired. Even when you're busy. Even when it would be easier to skip. Because success belongs to those who are willing to do what's necessary, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's not. Building your health is one of those necessary things. It's the behind-the-scenes work that doesn't always get attention, but it creates the results everyone notices later. People will wonder how you have so much energy, how you stay so focused, how you keep going when others slow down. They'll see the results, but they won't see the hours you put in when it was just you and your decision. 1 hour a day, every day. Building a life worth living. And the beautiful thing about health is that it gives back. Every effort you put in, every drop of sweat, Every healthy meal, every workout, it comes back to you in the form of strength, in the form of vitality, in the form of days and years added to your life, in the form of dreams you can still chase, because your body is strong enough to carry you there. So if you're serious about success, be serious about your health. If you're serious about living well, be serious about building energy that lasts. Start today. Start small. Start wherever you are, but start and don't stop. 1 hour a day, that's the price. But the reward is a life of strength, of freedom, of real living, and it's worth every single minute. Number 7, use 1 hour each day to clean up your habits. If you want your life to change, one of the most important things you'll ever do is clean up your habits. It's not always the big mistakes that break a person. Most of the time, it's the small habits, repeated daily, that either build you up or tear you down. And the good news is, you don't have to tackle everything all at once. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. You start by giving 1 hour each day to cleaning up your habits. 1 hour every day. To take a serious look at what you're doing and ask yourself, is this helping me or hurting me? Because habits run our lives, whether we notice it or not. The way you spend your mornings, the way you eat, the way you talk, the way you react under pressure, the way you treat people, the way you handle money, the way you use your free time. These are habits, and every habit you keep either pulls you closer to the life you want or pushes you further away. Most people live by accident. They don't plan their habits. They pick them up along the way without thinking. And after a few years, they look around and wonder why life feels stuck, why nothing seems to change. It's not because they don't care. It's because they never stop to notice that their habits are leading them somewhere, and not always in a good direction. If you give yourself 1 honest hour a day to work on your habits, you can change everything. Start by being honest with yourself. No sugarcoating, no pretending. Look at the way you live. Look at the things you do automatically. Are those habits helping you grow, or are they keeping you small? Are they building your character, or are they breaking it down? This 1 hour a day is not for beating yourself up. It's not for feeling guilty. It's for seeing clearly. It's for saying, if I keep living like this, where will I end up? And then asking yourself, what small change can I make today to move in a better direction? Cleaning up your habits isn't about grand gestures. It's about daily decisions. It's about choosing better little by little until better becomes your new normal. Maybe today you decide you're going to start the day with focus instead of chaos. Maybe today you decide to drink water instead of soda. Maybe today you decide to listen more and talk less. Small things. But over time, they create a life you can be proud of. 1 hour a day working on your habits does something powerful. It gives you back control. Most people feel out of control because they are out of control. Their habits run them, not the other way around. But when you give yourself an hour each day to clean up how you live, you start putting your hands back on the wheel. You start steering instead of drifting. You start choosing instead of reacting. Habits are like seeds. You plant them by your choices, and you harvest them by your results. A small careless habit today, skipping exercise, ignoring your budget, speaking carelessly, might not seem like much, but give it months or years, and it grows into a problem you can't ignore. On the other hand, a small wise habit today, saving a little money, being kind when it's hard, finishing what you start, might not seem impressive, but give it time, and it grows into a future that rewards you. One of the best things about habits is that once you build a good one, it starts to carry you. What feels hard at first eventually becomes automatic. What feels like work becomes part of who you are. That's why the first step is the hardest. And that's why you must be patient with yourself. You don't rip out all the bad habits at once. You don't plant all the good ones in a day. You work daily. You clean daily. You get a little better each time. Some habits will be harder to change than others. That's normal. Some habits have deep roots. Maybe you've carried them for years. Maybe you picked them up from family, from friends, from tough experiences. But just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's right. And just because something is comfortable doesn't mean it's good for you. During that 1 hour a day, face the habits that scare you. Face the ones you've been avoiding. Face the ones you know are holding you back. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also freeing. Because when you face it, you can fix it. And what you fix today becomes the freedom you feel tomorrow. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than yesterday, and then better the next day. 1 hour at a time, one habit at a time. Some days you'll feel like you're making big changes. Some days it will feel slow, but stay with it, because slow progress is still progress. And small cleanups, done daily, create a life that feels clean, clear, and powerful. People often admire the success of others without realizing how much daily cleaning it took behind the scenes. The discipline, the focus, the decision after decision after decision to build better habits, stronger habits. That's what you're building when you give yourself this hour. You're not just fixing what's wrong, you're building what's right. You're creating patterns that protect you when life gets hard. You're creating automatic behaviors that keep you strong when challenges come. You're building a structure inside yourself that can carry big dreams without collapsing under pressure. Success, health, happiness. They're not built on hope, they're built on habits. They're built on the small things you choose every day when no one's watching. And the best part is, you have that power right now. You have the power to decide what habits you're going to plant. You have the power to decide which ones you're going to pull out. And you have the power to start today. Give yourself that hour, not because you have to, but because your life is worth it. Your dreams are worth it. Your future is worth it. 1 hour a day cleaning up your habits might seem small today, but 1 year from now, 5 years from now, you'll look back and realize it wasn't small at all. It was everything. So today, pick one habit you know needs changing. Focus on it during your hour. Replace it with something better. And tomorrow, build on that. And the next day, build a little more. And keep building. Because every strong life you admire was once built the same way, quietly, daily, with choices nobody saw but everybody eventually felt. 1 hour, one better habit at a time. That's the real way to change your life. Number 8. Spend 1 hour every day doing what moves you closer to your dreams. If you really want your dreams to come true, you've got to do more than hope. You've got to do more than talk about it. You've got to move. You've got to act every day. And it doesn't have to be all day. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be real. It has to be serious. It has to be daily. 1 hour a day. 1 hour spent doing something that moves you closer to your dreams. Dreams don't come alive just because you wish for them. They don't come alive just because you want them. They come alive because you build them, piece by piece, day after day. And every day that you give 1 real hour to your dream, you're giving it life. You're giving it roots. You're giving it a chance. Most people let their dreams stay in their heads. They think about them. They daydream about them. They imagine a better life. But when the day ends, nothing's been built. Nothing's moved forward. Nothing's real. And time keeps moving. The days turn into weeks. The weeks turn into years. And the dream stays a dream. Untouchable. Unreachable. Slipping further away. You can live differently. You can decide that you're not going to be someone who only dreams. You're going to be someone who builds. You're going to be someone who every single day puts real effort into bringing your vision to life. It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be real. 1 hour of real work. Maybe today you write the first page of the book you've been thinking about. Maybe today you start the business plan. Maybe today you practice the skill you need to move to the next level. Maybe today you reach out to someone who can help. Maybe today you work on your craft, quietly, carefully, even when nobody's watching. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something that moves you closer, not keeps you standing still. 1 action, 1 hour, every single day. And here's what happens when you do that. Momentum starts to build. You start feeling different. You start thinking different. You start carrying yourself different. Because you're no longer just wishing, you're working. You're no longer just hoping, you're building. And that changes everything inside you. 1 hour a day of serious action creates more real progress than a month of good intentions. 1 hour of real effort moves you further than 100 hours of talking about what you're going to do someday. Most people waste more than an hour a day on things that mean nothing. An hour disappears into distractions, entertainment, excuses, and those hours add up. They steal the life you could have had. But 1 hour spent wisely, that hour compounds. It multiplies. It creates skills, builds relationships, sharpens your ideas, strengthens your confidence. And over time, that steady hour each day turns into something most people only dream about, a real better life. The truth is, you don't have to work 20 hours a day to change your life. You just have to work the right hour, the focused hour. The hour where you stop talking, stop wishing, stop planning endlessly, and start building something real. Ask yourself every day, what's one thing I can do today that moves me closer to my dream? Not what looks good, not what feels comfortable, what moves me. Then go do that for 1 hour. And when the hour is done, you can move on with the rest of your day, knowing you honored your future, knowing you didn't just survive the day, you used the day. Some days will be easy. You'll feel motivated. You'll feel clear. Other days will be hard. You'll be tired. You'll doubt yourself. You'll wonder if it's even worth it. That's normal. That's part of the deal. But the people who make it, the people who build the life they want, are the ones who show up anyway. They keep the appointment with their future, even when it's hard. It's easy to get caught in the idea that you have to make huge changes all at once. But real change happens slowly. One serious hour at a time, one decision at a time, one day at a time. And then one day you look up, and the dream you used to only think about is your real life. It's your daily experience. It's the reward for every small hour you invested, when no one else saw it. There's dignity in work. There's dignity in deciding that your dreams are worth your effort. There's power in showing yourself that you mean what you say. Every time you give an hour to your dream, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Every time you skip that hour, you're casting a vote to stay the same. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything yet. You just need to stay in the game. Stay in the process. Stay in the work. Dreams are not built on perfect plans. They're built on daily actions. They're built by people who are willing to give a little bit of themselves every day to the life they want. If you want to see what your life will look like a year from now, look at what you're doing each day. Look at how you're spending your hours. Look at whether you're building or drifting, whether you're growing or coasting. 1 hour a day, serious, focused, non-negotiable, makes all the difference. Today is a new chance, a new hour, waiting for you. Use it, honor it, build with it. It's not about having time, it's about making time. And what you make today will meet you in the future. Your dream is waiting, your future self is waiting, and every step you take now, even if it's small, brings you closer. 1 hour, one action, one dream moving from idea to reality. That's the path, and you have the power to walk it. Start today. Number 9. It's not about working longer. It's about working smarter for 1 powerful hour that moves you forward. A lot of people think that the answer to success is just to work longer hours, that if they stay busy from morning until night, somehow the rewards will find them. But it doesn't work like that. It's not about working longer. It's about working smarter. It's about focusing your effort. It's about using your best energy on the things that move you forward, not just the things that fill up your day. And that shift, that understanding, makes all the difference between people who stay stuck and people who build the life they really want. You don't get paid for the number of hours you put in. You get paid for the value you bring. And value doesn't come from being busy. Value comes from being effective, and effectiveness comes from focusing on what matters most. 1 powerful hour every day, focused on real progress, will do more for you than 10 hours of being busy with no direction. The truth is, it's easy to stay busy. It's easy to fill your day with small tasks, with things that look important, but don't actually move you any closer to your goals. It's easy to confuse movement with achievement, but moving around in circles doesn't get you anywhere. You can work longer and harder than everyone else, and still end up nowhere if you're not working smart. Working smart means asking better questions. It means asking yourself, what's the real work that moves me forward? Not the urgent work, not the noisy work, not the easy work. The real work, the work that builds your skills, the work that strengthens your business, the work that builds your future. And here's the key, that kind of work demands your best focus, your best thinking, your best creativity. That's why you need to give it 1 strong hour a day, every day. Not a rushed hour, not a distracted hour. A real hour where you are fully present, fully committed to making real progress. 1 hour a day might not seem like much, but it adds up. In 1 year, that's 365 powerful hours of focused, high-quality work. Imagine what you could build, what you could create, how much stronger you could be with 365 hours of serious directed effort behind you. That's how businesses grow. That's how careers advance. That's how personal breakthroughs happen. Not in a random moment, not in a weekend, in daily focused effort. You don't have to give up everything else in your life to succeed. You don't have to work yourself into exhaustion. You just have to work smart. You just have to work focused. You just have to give the right kind of effort to the right kind of activities. 1 serious hour a day, consistently, seriously, intentionally, can change everything for you. Working smart also means protecting your energy. If you waste all your energy on things that don't matter, you won't have enough left for the work that does. If you waste your best hours reacting to emergencies, distractions, and other people's priorities, you won't have the strength to build what's truly yours. That's why it's important to schedule that 1 powerful hour when you're at your best. Early in the morning, late at night, whenever you have the most control over your time and the most clarity in your mind. Make it an appointment you keep with yourself. A promise you don't break. When you focus that hour on the right things, learning, practicing, building, creating, solving, you start to see results that feel almost unfair to the people around you, who are still busy being busy. You start to move ahead faster, not because you're working more hours, but because you're working the right hours. It's not about being the first one to clock in and the last one to clock out. It's about what you do when you're there. It's about how you use your mind, your skills, your attention. Some people spend their whole day solving small problems that don't matter in the long run. Others spend 1 focused hour solving problems that open doors for years to come. Every day you have a choice. You can be busy, or you can be effective. You can chase every little thing that screams for your attention, or you can build something real that speaks for itself. You can add more noise to your day, or you can add more results to your life. Working longer without working smarter is a trap. It leads to exhaustion without progress. It leads to frustration without fulfillment. It leads to years spent wondering why success feels so far away. Don't fall into that trap. Choose differently. Choose wisely. Choose to work smart. And it starts with 1 hour a day. 1 hour where you say, this is my time to focus on what matters. This is my time to move forward, not just stay busy. 1 hour where you build skills that make you more valuable. 1 hour where you make decisions that move your dreams from ideas to reality. 1 hour where you plant seeds that will grow into opportunities, success, freedom. It's a small price to pay. 1 powerful hour each day. But it creates a reward far bigger than the effort. Because every day you use that hour well, you're separating yourself from the crowd. You're putting yourself on a different track. A track that leads to a life of choice, not chance. A life of design, not drift. A life of progress, not just movement. So today, decide that you're done confusing, being busy with being effective. Decide that your time, your energy, your future is worth more than endless noise and distraction. Decide that you will find 1 hour every day to work smart, to work focused, to work on the things that matter most. Because real success doesn't come from how many hours you live. It comes from how many hours you truly use. Number 10. Protect 1 hour every day for quiet thinking. The answers you need come when you slow down and ask better questions. One of the greatest mistakes people make in life is that they don't take the time to think. Real thinking, deep thinking, quiet thinking. Most people are running so fast from one task to another, one distraction to another, that they never stop long enough to ask the important questions. They never stop long enough to really check if the direction they're heading is the one they even want. That's why you must protect 1 hour every day for quiet thinking. 1 hour where you slow everything down. 1 hour where you step back from the noise. 1 hour where you give yourself the space to ask better questions. Questions that can change your life. The world today is louder than ever. Notifications, deadlines, conversations, distractions everywhere. If you're not careful, you'll get swept away by it. You'll spend your life reacting, not thinking. You'll spend your days answering everybody else's questions, but never asking your own. And you'll wake up one day realizing you climbed a ladder only to find it was leaning against the wrong wall. You need time to think, to sort through the noise, to check in with yourself, to ask real questions. Questions like, am I doing what matters? Am I living by my values or by somebody else's expectations? Am I building a life I'll be proud of or just trying to get through the day? And you don't find those answers by rushing. You don't find them by staying busy. You find them when you slow down, when you sit quietly with yourself and listen to the thoughts you've been too busy to hear. 1 hour a day. Not multitasking, not half listening, not scrolling while you think. One quiet, protected hour where you put everything else on hold and focus inward, where you let your mind stretch out, breathe, and search. Because the truth is, the answers you need are already inside you. You just haven't given them the space to surface. You've covered them up with noise, with urgency, with busyness. Quiet thinking uncovers what's been buried. It reconnects you to your own wisdom. It reminds you of what matters most. And it's in those quiet hours that your best ideas are born. It's in those hours that clarity comes, that decisions become easier, that confusion starts to lift. It's in those hours that you start seeing paths you couldn't see before, because you were moving too fast to notice. Quiet thinking is where growth begins. You can read all the books, attend all the seminars, listen to all the advice, but until you take the time to sit with yourself and process what you've learned, it doesn't become yours. It stays on the surface. It stays as information, not transformation. 1 hour of quiet thinking every day allows you to digest what you're learning. It allows you to connect the dots between what you know and what you do. It allows you to turn knowledge into wisdom, and wisdom is what changes lives. Quiet thinking also teaches you patience. In a world that rewards speed, patience is a rare and powerful asset. Most people want everything now. They want quick answers, quick success, quick rewards. But anything worth building takes time, and it takes the patience to think deeply, to plan wisely, to act deliberately. During your quiet hour, ask better questions, not shallow questions, like, how can I get more likes? Or how can I be famous? Ask deep questions, strong questions. How can I become a better person? How can I serve better? What am I ignoring that needs my attention? What kind of legacy do I want to leave? These are the questions that reshape your life, if you are brave enough to answer them honestly. And the answers you find won't always be easy. Sometimes they will challenge you. Sometimes they will push you. Sometimes they will show you parts of yourself you'd rather not see. But that's where real growth happens, in the honesty, in the courage to face what needs to change. That's why protecting this hour is so important. It's easy to push it aside. It's easy to tell yourself you're too busy today. But every day you skip is a day you move a little further from the life you could have built. 1 quiet hour a day isn't just good for you, it's necessary. Because when you don't take time to think, you start living on autopilot. You stop choosing. You start reacting. You become a passenger in your own life instead of the driver. You let other people's agendas fill your calendar. You let other people's opinions shape your actions. You lose touch with who you are and what you want. But when you think deeply every day, you stay in touch with your own voice. You stay grounded. You stay intentional. You move with purpose instead of pressure. Quiet thinking also builds emotional strength. In the quiet, you learn to handle your thoughts. You learn to handle your emotions. You build the kind of inner stability that can't be shaken by every little storm. You become someone who doesn't crumble under stress, but stands strong because they know who they are and where they are going. 1 hour a day to strengthen your mind, to clarify your direction, to settle your spirit. That hour is worth more than any rush of busy work you could cram into your schedule. That hour is what keeps you sane, focused, steady, and it doesn't require anything fancy. You don't need a special room. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need the willingness to stop, to be quiet, to listen. Maybe you sit with a notebook. Maybe you go for a walk without your phone. Maybe you just sit in a chair and breathe and think. The method doesn't matter as much as the commitment, the discipline to slow down every day and meet yourself honestly. Protect that hour like it's gold, because it is. It's the hour where the real work happens, the work inside you that shapes everything outside you. 1 quiet hour a day, where you think, where you ask, where you listen, where you plan, where you dream, where you strengthen the foundation of the life you're building. It's not time wasted, it's time invested. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity.
Because in the end, your success, your happiness, your peace, they won't come from running faster. They'll come from thinking better. And thinking better only happens when you slow down enough to hear the answers you've been carrying all along. Start today. Find your quiet hour. Protect it. Honor it. And watch how it changes everything. You don't have to change everything about your life today. You don't have to figure it all out by tonight. But you do have to make a start. You do have to make a choice. 1 hour a day given to the right things can change everything about the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the rest of your life. Most people won't do it. Most people will hear the idea and let it pass. They'll keep living the same days, hoping for different results. But you don't have to live like that. You can choose differently. You can choose to build. Little by little, one serious hour at a time. Protect that hour. Honor it. Treat it like the hour that holds your future. Because it does. Every book you read, every skill you sharpen, every habit you build, every moment you spend strengthening yourself, it all stacks up. And one day, not so far from now, you'll look back and be glad you started. You'll see how that one small decision, repeated daily, turned into something you're proud of. A stronger you, a better life, a future you built with your own hands. 1 hour at a time. The time is going to pass anyway. The only question is, what will you have to show for it? Start today. 1 hour every day. Build the life you know you're capable of living.